There's a new commander here in town in Washington, D.C., or 53 of them. The Washington football team officially said goodbye to their former name, the Redskins, and will now take the field as the Commanders. The old name was defended by the franchise for years, despite being considered by many to be a racial slur, Redskins. Joining us now for more is Kenneth Moten, live from FedEx Field in Washington, D.C. Glad you're there, Kenneth. So let me ask you, can you tell us how fans are reacting to the team they're going to be cheering now, the Commanders?
Terry, the Washington Commanders, how does that sound? Well, apparently pretty good to the fans who are celebrating because their team actually has a name after, 18 months of searching for this name. And I can tell you that, as you know, Terry, for NFL fans, it doesn't care what you call their team, as long as you just call them winners here. And so when it comes to this big name reveal here, this was not a surprise for the fans. Nothing stays secret in D.C. for very long. And what we know is that yesterday, before this big announcement here at FedEx Field, you had local news choppers in the air getting a glimpse. They are actually able to see the banner that said Commanders right there on top of it. So fans, they knew the name already before this big announcement today. And also last week, there was an internet sleuth, Terry, who actually figured out the domain name that commanders.com had been transferred over to the NFL, which uses a certain company for its many team domains. So they knew that they were reading the tea leaves here about the name of this new big announcement for the Commanders here. Even team owner Dan Snyder opened his remarks here this morning saying, "Welcome to not the best kept secret in D.C. Either way, the Commanders is the name after this longtime organization here dropped its longtime nickname. You mentioned it, Terry. Many found it to be offensive to Native Americans, a name that was under constant attack and protest by people, groups, and businesses. The team dropped that name in 2020 and went by the Washington football team. It's been a year and a half of fans weighing in, guessing, and here we are with the Washington Commanders.
The Commanders, and if teams have nicknames like my Chicago Cubs are the Cubbies, the Yankees are the Yanks, Vikings, maybe the Commanders' nickname can be the Commies, right? The Washington Commies, maybe not. But let me ask you on a serious note. Look, the Washington football organization, the football team, the Commanders, they have had a lot of problems in recent years inside the organization. Tomorrow on Capitol Hill, several former Washington football team employees are going to join a round table to discuss issues of workplace misconduct in the NFL's, quote, failure to take steps to prevent sexual harassment and verbal abuse within the Washington organization under the leadership of the owner you just talked about, Dan Snyder. So this is a big deal. This has been a real problem for the Washington team, for the Commanders, I guess. What can we expect, Kenneth?
Well, some people would say new name, old problems for this team here. And let me run you through. I know, Terry, you know all about this, but just to remind our viewers of the backstory here, bear with me here because there have been a list of controversies and a lot of fallout here for this Washington football team. Now the Commanders is still dealing with that fallout after a series of reports from the Washington Post about alleged sexual harassment and verbal abuse female employees say they experienced here in this organization. The investigation led the NFL to fine the NFL team, this football team, $10 million, saying that it created a toxic work environment. And also Dan Snyder was removed from day-to-day operations. There was major criticism over the fact that the NFL didn't turn over the findings of this investigation and release it to the public. The public and the fans wanted to know exactly what was in there. And not only them, but Congress wanted to know as well, because as part of that investigation, an email scandal actually erupted here that involved the team president, the former team president, Bruce Allen, after it came to light that ex-Las Vegas Raiders coach John Gruden allegedly sent racist, homophobic, misogynistic emails to Allen over several years there. Congress, again, jumped into this. They wanted to investigate this. They're continuing to investigate this. And as you mentioned, Terry, that tomorrow, in fact, we are learning that 2 House committees will hold what they call a roundtable with several former Washington football team employees to discuss the alleged workplace misconduct there and the actions of the NFL. And I should also point out that the NFL told ESPN in November, Terry, that they are cooperating with this investigation and continuing to provide the requested documentation here. But those committees say that this roundtable will really provide an opportunity to hear from these former employees of the Washington football team, now the Washington Commanders, and it will also inform them of potential legislative solutions to better protect all workers in the workplace, including in the NFL. Terry?
It's been a real problem there, and it will be brought to light tomorrow. Kenneth Moten, live at FedEx Field, home of the Commanders. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Terry.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.